He's the CEO of the United Way of the Greater Triangle. Please welcome to the stage, Eric Guckian.
Thanks. I feel like I'm a fighter. I feel like I'm getting ready to jump in a ring here. It's great to be with you. My name is Eric Guckian. I'm the CEO and president of United Way of the Greater Triangle. And it's humbling to get up here and follow those acts and Amy coming after me. Tremendous group of leaders and people. I think they all deserve a round of applause, really, truly. So our mission at United Way of the Greater Triangle is to eradicate poverty and increase social mobility through the power of partnerships. Eradicate poverty and increase social mobility through the power of partnerships. I'm aware that that's a damn near impossible mission. It's never been done really in the history of the world. But I believe that it can happen in the Triangle, and it's because of the social entrepreneurs that you're hearing from tonight. And we support over 90 other organizations, including the ones that you heard today. And it sounds like we have to think about supporting Stop Soldier Suicide. They're not currently on our list, but we would ask for you to apply. But it's I want to tell you a little bit about myself. Share some embarrassing 70s pictures, and talk a little bit about what brought me to the work and what my why is. But just before I move on, we have over 14,000 donors that give to United Way here in the Triangle, and the average gift is less than $300. So that speaks to a community that wants to give, that is giving, and that will continue to give. And we're also attracting a lot of national attention from folks like Mackenzie Scott and Peter Buffett, Warren Buffett's son. And it's because of the work that we're doing to rally the support of folks like Cecilia and Dr. Bullock and the two Amy's. And we get them together. It's not about you might hear a little bit about money, and that's part of what we do. But it's not about the strength of our campaign. It's about the power of our platform and our ability to talk about how, because we're not going to eradicate poverty with one organization, right? We're not going to come out of this pandemic with one organization. We have to do it together. So I'm going to share some pictures about myself and talk a little bit about what brought me to the work, and then how it kind of expanded from there. So these are the embarrassing early 80s pictures that I promised. This is my mom and dad, Dennis and Deborah Guckian, and they are my heroes. My dad is a plumber. He's retired now, but he is a 50-year union member. And my mom, who's also retired, is a respiratory therapist. I'm the first person in my family to go to college. So when we talk about social mobility, I am a product of that. My parents worked extremely hard for the opportunity for me to be able to go to school and to have a cool job like the one that I have today, and have the kind of opportunities that I have. I've jumped a class, and I've done all of those things. I would stress, though, that while I did not grow up wealthy, I grew up with tremendous privilege. I am a white man. I am a white man, and I had all the benefits of that, and I continue to have all the benefits of that. I don't have a story like Rhonda and Cecilia, and that is because of my whiteness. So when we talk about being an anti-poverty organization, we also have to be an anti-racist organization. And anti-racism is for all of us, especially us white folks, okay? So that's something that we believe very strongly, and that's why we support it. We support it over and over again in the work that we do. This is me. This is my first job out of college. I worked at Teach for America, and I was a fourth grade teacher in the South Bronx, right by Yankee Stadium, the old Yankee Stadium. It was the poorest congressional district in the country at the time, and it remains so. And what I hear often when people say, "Whoa, you taught in the South Bronx, what was that like? It must have been really crazy." And poverty is poverty wherever you go. I then moved on to go to work down here in North Carolina. My wife Lisa is from rural North Carolina, and I worked at Teach for America all in rural North Carolina. and I also had the privilege of being an advisor to governors of the state on both sides of the aisle for education. And what I learned as I got deeper and deeper into education is what I started off at the outset. We are not going to do this with one program all by ourselves. We have to work together across lines of difference to make this happen, okay? And we have to be willing to take on innovation and to support social entrepreneurs like the ones you heard from here today, and established organizations. There's a tremendous network of organizations that are here, and you just need to lean in and ask questions and get active, because there are different ways that you can engage. So that is why I just can't say enough about the organizations that we support. It is not about us, it is about them, and it is about we working together, all of us. Think of us as a mutual fund for social impact. So when you give to United Way, you're giving to all of the organizations, not just one of the organizations. And you also have the opportunity, if you want to designate, to give to any one of those organizations, and you should do that. And one of the things that we do, and that I've been CEO of United Way for about 5 years now, one of the first things that I did was waive any administrative costs, because we don't want to counsel people out of their passions. Dollar for dollar, it goes to and through those organizations. So I'm proud to stand here before you as the CEO of United Way. I ask that you get engaged, and I'm tremendously humbled to be sharing this stage with so many great social entrepreneurs and leaders. Thank you.
It's Q&A time for the United Way Triangle. Raise your hands if you've got questions about the great work they're doing in our community. Again, this isn't TV. I can see you. Oh, we've got one from somebody in the back. I wonder who this could be. Question.
I know her.
Yes, not get in front of the camera. Ma'am, what is your name?
I'm Amanda. Hi, everyone.
All right, question from Amanda.
Hey, Amanda.
Hey, Eric. Thanks for speaking tonight, and thank y'all for being here. Question, if I worked in an organization who wanted to get involved in giving with United Way, how would I go about doing that, and what kind of programs do you have?
Yep, you can reach out, go to our website, and we can immediately get opportunities for you to engage, not only in terms of financially, but also in terms of volunteer opportunities. I skipped this slide earlier, but whoop, what am I doing? Oh, it's skipping it. We put $7.15 million into the into these organizations that I speak of, and these are the kind of things that occurred as a result. Parental engagement. You've heard so much about mental health. You're going to hear about literacy here soon enough. And we do that through the Rapid Response Fund. So we actually helped people. Not we, United Way, but we, this community, and through the dollars that we sent, 1.9 million times. So I think that's pretty powerful. So whether it be El Futuro and all those other different organizations, we were a part of that. So you can just go to a website.
All right, next question from the gentleman in the blue mask here.
Thank you, Eric.
Hey, what's going on, Luke?
So, do you have any special efforts around innovation? We're in this space here, and I know you're located here, but any special efforts around that, and any examples of that, if you do have that?
Yeah, we've got a bunch. First, I'd start off with our 10 to Watch program, and Dr. Bullock is actually a member of our this year's class of 10 to Watch. About 3 years ago, we took a look at our portfolio, and less than 15% of the organizations that we supported were led by people of color. And that did not square with us. It did not square with our values. So we began our 10 to Watch model, where we chose, through a rigorous impact and data-based process, we chose 10 leaders who were either women and or people of color, organizations under $1 million. So fast forward 4 years later, our portfolio is now over 60% people of color, and that's not because I said it. It's because we actually built a process that was data-driven and community-driven. So we've we've made that kind of movement in just the last 4 years, and I'm extremely proud of that number. So that's one. The other one that we're building with, and we've got support from the Novo Foundation and Peter Buffett and Mackenzie Scott. It's a multi-year, multi-million dollars. It's called Neighborhood Impact, and that's getting more proximate to the problems that we're trying to solve by asking the people that are closest to it. So we believe in people, place, and proximity, and that's going to be a big part. That's going to be a big innovation for us moving forward.
And our last question goes to the gentleman right here in the middle.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your support. Yes, so I've noticed that for a lot of the different organizations, y'all have been really trying to, in terms of leadership, you've been trying to expand the diversity within the leadership as well. But do you feel like the diversity impacts the leadership? I mean, could you not have just as good of a leadership with less diversity? Not that there's anything wrong with it, of course, but...
It's a great question. I think all of us are leaders. And I also think that if we're going to be representative of the communities that we're serving in particular, most of the folks that are in poverty are people of color. And when 15% of your portfolio is people of color led, that doesn't square. So we needed to put our thumb on that scale. That being said, I think leaders come in all shapes, sizes, nationalities, backgrounds, and that's part of what makes us great. So we need all of it. As a white man, I'm pretty comfortable working in the space that I work in, but I also have to have humility about knowing that I will never experience what Dr. Bullock just described at the outset of this. I will never experience that as a white man. And it's important to recognize that as a leader who is representative of this entire community.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, big hand for Eric Guckian.
Thanks, man.